It's us again, you guys, your favorite couple, back again with episode 14 of our podcast.
We still do.
So today's topic is going to be, in my opinion, juicy. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think it's going to be juicy. So today we're going to talk about physical appearance. And, you know, at what point and how do you approach your spouse to tell them about themselves? So, you want me to kick it off?
Yes, I do want you to kick it off.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
That's 2 times in a row. So you just make sure you tally that.
Okay.
2 times in a row, I didn't kick this thing off. So, yeah, tally me up.
Yep.
All right. So, what I mean by physical appearance, for those of you out there who are like, what do you mean physical appearance? I don't mean like, you know, just like the way you look. What I'm saying is, let's say in the beginning of the relationship, or, you know, when you guys first met, you know, you were all into working out. And when you guys get married later on down the line, you realize, you know, I no longer have a reason to work out. Like, I got the woman of my dreams. I'm good. And you just decided to stop working out, or maybe, you know, life got the best of you and work and so forth. And now, you know, you don't have the time to work out anymore, and you start kind of losing that physique that you had. My thing is, how and when do you approach your spouse to tell them, like, you know, you're starting to lose it a little bit without hurting their feelings or, you know, crushing someone's pride? Because it's, you know, it may be easier for a woman to tell a man, like, hey babe, you kind of, you know, you're getting a little chunky, like, you know, you're not really as strong as you used to be. But a guy to tell a woman, like, boo, like, you used to be in shape, and you kind of like, oh, so what you saying, I'm fat? No, I'm not saying you're fat.
I don't think that it's easier for a guy or for a girl. Like, I think it just depends on that person. Yes, because even I will make little jokes about your stomach, and you get a little bit butthurt, and I just be playing with you.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't really take it serious like a girl would.
You do.
Yes, I do, kind of, but
it makes you, okay, maybe you don't get like your feelings hurt or whatever, but it does make you like self-conscious about it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
but
so I feel
I still think it's a little bit worse for a guy to tell a woman, like, you kind of.
I think it's in how you.
Yeah, it's how and how you. That's the thing. How do you say it?
Yeah.
Without hurting their feelings, and when is a good time to say it? Because you may feel like, yeah, like, I don't know if we in this marriage right now, if we at the point where if I tell her, she might look at me like, are you crazy? Or if she'll receive it as like, okay, he's looking out for me, maybe I do need to, you know, get back into it. Like, how would you tell me? How would you say, like if I started getting fat, if I was up in, you know, over 200 pounds, pushing 300, what would you say?
I would approach it as like, let's make a lifestyle change, like, try to trick together.
That's the trick right
Instead
there.
of saying like, oh, you're getting big, or, you know, I would approach it as let's make a lifestyle change together. Like, let's start to try to eat healthier, you know, let's work out together. Make it a together thing, and not just like, you need to go to the gym.
But what about like, you look the same to how you look, and I'm almost 300 pounds. Like, what do you mean? Let's work out together. Let's make a lifestyle change. Like, you already look good.
Okay. But it's a health thing. If you put it more to a health thing, and it is a lifestyle, just because somebody is small, or just because, like me, for instance, I have a natural small physique, but do I work out? Yes. It doesn't mean that just because you're small, you have a natural small build, that it's not good for you to work out or that it's not good for you to eat healthy.
No, I'm not saying that.
So I know, but I'm just saying like that would be my comeback if you're like, oh well.
Yeah, but I'm
why are
telling
you
you,
saying we?
from a man's point of view, he might look at it like, or from the other side, it can be a woman too. Like if the woman got bigger and the guy is already like in shape, they might look at it like, is this some kind of trick? Like, is this your way of telling me that I'm getting fat? Because, you know, I understand what you're saying. Like, let's make a life change,
Yeah.
a lifestyle change. But they can be thinking in the back of their mind, like, this lifestyle change is really for me. You just gonna join with me. That's the thing. Like, how do you do it without necessarily hurting the feelings? Or do you just come out and just be brutally honest out of love? Like, I love you and I want to make sure, like, you know how I am.
Yeah.
I think I would just come out and be like, look, you know, we need to do something. Like, I love you and I'm not going to sugarcoat it and be like, oh, you
and
know.
I think, if like, if it was us, we're talking about us, I think we would both just come out and say it because that's just how we.
Yeah, that's true too.
And we could, you know what I mean? Even we could make it like a playful thing, but be like, okay, this seriously, I'm worried about your health.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
fat.
I mean, I feel like if it was us, we would just come out and say it. But, you know, for other people, yeah, like you don't want to hurt their feelings. I would approach it more as like, let's make it something that we do together, or on a more like serious note, like I'm worried about your health. Like, don't make them feel bad for the way they look, but make it more about like, I'm concerned about your health, and not
I think
much about like how you look, but more of the healthy side of it.
I think when that conversation has to be made, what you have to do is stress the fact at the beginning, like, you know, I love you.
Right.
I care about you. I care for you, and I care about, you know, your health and your well-being. So what I'm going to tell you right now is not
don't take it the wrong way.
Don't take it the wrong way. Like, I'm only telling you this because I care.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, you know, for that person, it might feel like wow. But then, you know, prayerfully, they sit and think about it and look in the mirror and be like, you know what? He or she is right. Like, I do need to make some changes. But now, also, since we talked about that side, we got to talk about the flip side, which would be gaining weight, or not gaining weight, trying to lose the weight. So, you know, you start the relationship out like, you know what I'm saying, maybe you weren't into working out. And, you know what I'm saying, now all of a sudden you decide, because like you said, it's one thing when it's a life-changing decision when you guys do it as a couple. But let's say we've been married for 5 years. When the whole 5 years it's been like, you know, you're happy with me, I'm happy with you as far as physical appearance, and just randomly out of nowhere I just decide on my own, like, I'm about to get a gym membership, I'm finna hit this thing hard. I'm going. And now it's like, why do you feel like all of a sudden you need to just be like a bodybuilder looking muscle man? Like, I love you the way you are. Like, as a woman, would that make you feel like, not, I won't say insecure, but would it make you feel like, is there someone or something that he's working out for? Because I love him the way he is, and we never talked about this. Now why are you spending all your time and effort to go and work out, and this is not a me and you thing, it's just you going and working out?
I mean, I guess it will make me feel some type of way. It would, I guess.
But like, I know it would. It's just, you know, like, do you jump to a conclusion and start like trying to spy, or do you just come out and ask? Like, you know, how do you go about that? And that's not even a question to ask, because that's a different answer for every woman. Some women will go and spy on her.
And I think that's more of like a jealousy type of thing. Like, we need to have another topic on jealousy, because I feel like depending on like if you're a jealous type, then yeah, you probably would, try to go out and spy and see like, well, is he talking to somebody at the gym, or you know what I mean? Why is all of a sudden he wants to get buff out of nowhere?
Right.
But like, let's say for instance, it was you, and you all of a sudden, please, okay, we know,
What?
we know,
No what?
we know you work out.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just- you don't got to do that.
You didn't see nothing. My sleeve covered it.
But if it was you and you just randomly started working out and didn't like include me, you already know. Like, I will call you out on it. Like,
Be
why
up
are
at the
you
gym, huh?
why are you going up to the gym all the time? Like, what are you doing at the gym? Like, why didn't you ask me, do I want to go work out? Like, you know what? I would ask questions. Would I go up to the gym and try to spot? No, I wouldn't do that, because I'm just like, I don't have time for that. But I would ask you questions like, what is your motive behind all of a sudden you want to be Mr. Fit? Which there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. There's nothing wrong with it.
But what is your motive behind
Right.
it?
I
That's
don't-
what it comes
yeah,
down to.
I
Like,
don't-
what is your motive?
I don't think it's anything wrong with it until it's like not something that you talked about as a couple. I mean, I just, and maybe it's just how we are, but I just feel like, personal things should be talked about as one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to start working out, I should run it by you. Like, I'm thinking about getting the gym membership and working out. Like, I just don't feel comfortable with myself. Like, I just feel like I need to get in shape. And then at that point, you can be like, oh, I was thinking that doing that too. Like, we should do it too. Or you can be like, go ahead.
Especially too, if it's something that's going to be taking up your time.
Right. It's going to take you,
You know what I
away
mean?
from
It's
your
going to
spouse.
take you away from your spouse. It's going to be taking time away from your family. So yeah, it is something that you need to talk about anyway, because it's going to be taken up, it's going to be taken away from, your time. So, that's something that needs to be discussed. I feel like if that's something that like only one person wants to do on their own, they don't want to do it like together as a couple, maybe the other person is like, well, I'm not into working out, or I don't want to. It still needs to be discussed, because like you said, there could be a hidden agenda there, but also I think more than anything is the time aspect of it. Like, you're gonna be spending time away, which is cool, but it's like, I don't know.
I think too, which, I mean, it's not really a part of the topic, but just speaking on the point of, like you said, it could be a hidden agenda. Like, I feel like if you don't talk about it, there's kind of no accountability. So it's like, if you're already just going out and doing it without, your husband or your wife's consent and knowing where you are, or they know where you are, but they don't really, you know what I'm saying, know like that. I mean, there's plenty of single people at the gym, and you might get up in there and start working out, catch somebody's eye, or somebody catch your eye.
Can we, and this is kind of catching you off guard a little bit.
Don't catch me off
You
guard.
know, if you don't want to talk about it, we'll just edit this part out. But do you want to talk about like when we first got married and like you going to the gym and stuff, and like
Yeah,
what
we can talk
what
about
that
it.
led
I
to?
mean,
Okay,
shoot.
let's talk about it then. Let's talk
We
about
13
it.
years in, girl.
Okay,
I love you.
I know that.
Okay. The people
Okay.
know that I love you. So what is it?
All right, go. So let's talk about.
I got to get my
You got
towel
your
out.
towel. You sweating now,
Oh,
y'all. It's about to
shoot.
get really real.
Nah, for real though. No, I'm good.
So we were probably, and this was probably in our
This
first,
was early in our marriage. Like we said,
year-
y'all
year or
seen
two.
the clip. We already
Yeah.
kinda,
On another note, you guys, we appreciate like the views and
views
stuff
and
that
the
we got
comments.
from that post.
but
It
we're
was
obviously still
crazy.
together.
Yeah.
But we did feel that way in the beginning of our marriage, and this story goes along with it.
Yeah.
I was going to the gym, and
Against what I wanted.
she
you
didn't
to
want
be
me to go to
doing.
the gym. She didn't want me to go to the gym, but early in our marriage, I felt like,
But I knew why. I'm gonna stop interrupting you.
dang, are you telling this story?
No,
or me?
you are. Go ahead.
Dang. So in the beginning of our marriage, it was it was tough, and it was something for me to get used to. Like, you know, I've had girlfriends in the past, but I still kind of did my own thing. So it's like, okay, I really can't do that anymore, but it was like something that I was used to doing. So it's like, we're married, but I still don't want to be completely tied down. So you telling me like I can't go to the gym was just like what do you mean I can't go to the gym? Like, I can go to the gym. So I was still going to the gym anyway, and you didn't want me to do it. And I got up in there,
Because
and
I knew.
she knew. She had her women's intuition.
Go ahead.
And I went up in there with the front mind wanting to go in there and work out, but the back of my mind was like, let me see who up in here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I messed up. I went up in there, you know, working out, but at the same time looking at who was up in here. And dang, they're gonna be watching this like, ooh. But
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't nothing. Like,
it wasn't
nothing. It
didn't
was
lead
no
to anything crazy.
Yeah.
But I knew. Yeah, I just knew that. You know,
it wasn't a good idea.
It wasn't.
I try to act like this is nothing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to the gym.
But I knew there was more, and that's what I was saying. What is your motive behind wanting to do it? Because now, like, it's not like you don't work out no more.
I don't even
but
like going to the gym now. I got everything at home.
He wants to include me in everything, like any little workout thing. He's like, come work out with me, come out. Like, it's like because your motive has changed and your motive is different and your focus is like on us. You want to be better together.
Right.
And I think because like your motive has changed, or your inspiration behind like why you want to work out, I think it's like that's why you want to include me more. Before, I already knew there was a hidden agenda and there was a hidden motive. Like, you never had asked me to come to the gym with you. You never like
it didn't work.
I mean, come on. I wasn't dumb.
It didn't work.
But I couldn't just be like, oh, I know you're in there trying to look at girl. Like, you know what I mean? And we were young.
And looking back on it, it's like, I was stupid for thinking that, like, you didn't even think that. Like, now, well, I won't say that I didn't know that you didn't think that, but
I think you didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't care. And looking back,
I think you didn't care.
Like, that was stupid. Like,
yeah.
It was.
I think it was one of those things where it's like, you knew I knew, but if I tried to say something about it, you knew I couldn't like prove it. So it was like, you knew that you could defend yourself.
Yeah.
So it was just like one of those things that really wasn't said, but it was like, I know what you're doing in the gym. And you was like, she know what I'm doing in the gym. But
that was
it was never discussed. It was just like, I don't want you going to the gym.
Yeah.
And you was like, well, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to work out. It was that type of situation where the real root of it was never like talked about until it hit the fan. Then it was like, see, I knew, but it was like it was never dealt with from the get go.
Yeah, it was.
If it was dealt with from the get go,
never the gym again.
Then it wouldn't have got to that. But
and I didn't go to the gym for a long time.
Oh, you sure didn't.
After that, and then that's when I started to get stuff to work out at home, and then but remember, years later is when we got a gym membership because of you. You went and got a gym membership. Like, I didn't even care. Like, I was content with working out at home. Like, by then it was like, we started to, come together in our marriage, and things started working out. And it's like, I'm saying, this is how it's supposed to be. Yeah. And I was cool with working out at the house. You would come out there every so often, and then just randomly you come home talking about, I got us a gym membership. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And even then, the trust that you have for me, because you knew now what my motives were. So in the beginning, we tried to go together, but it didn't really work out because of the kids. So then it was
we
like,
ended up going at separate times.
We ended up going at separate times. Like, you would
but
go,
it wasn't
and then I would go.
It wasn't an issue.
It wasn't an issue.
Like,
anymore.
it wasn't an issue at all. But I think that a big part of like how you spend your time and stuff like that when you first get married is important.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said, you were used to doing things a certain way when you were single, but when you get married, it's like, it's just different.
Yeah,
It's different, and you have to have a certain level of maturity
and
to
discipline.
be, and discipline to be in a certain type of surrounding to keep like your motives pure, and to keep, you know what I mean? It's like, I can kind of relate it back to like when you know, like when you first like get saved or something, you first start going to church. It's like you can't really, you almost have to like isolate yourself from, not isolate yourself, but distance yourself a little bit from like the people you used to hang out with and the places you used to go and stuff, until you get like strong enough in your faith to where you can be like cool and hang out with some people that, you know, maybe might not be Christians, but you're not bothered by it, or you're not swayed by it, because you've built a firm foundation first. So it's like, give me some time to like build myself up, you know, then I can go and like hang out and still like build up other people without being dragged down. And it's, I feel like it's the same thing like when you first get married. You can't like hang out with your single friends all the time when you first married, because you need to work on your marriage. Like you have to build up your marriage first and build that strong like trust and that unity and all that with your spouse first. Then it's like, okay, well, you know, let me go do a girls' night, or let me go do a guys' night. But you can't start off like freshly married doing stuff like that. Yeah. Because you're going to find your way back into like acting like you're single. Like you need to spend a lot of time with your spouse when you first get married. That was because the thing you have to, and that was the thing for us, where it was just like, why can't I? And mainly with you. It was mainly with you more than it was with me.
It was me because
you're like, why can I? And I think I got that. Like I already had kind of knew that. I think that
I was the way I was.
Not that you were the way that you were, but I had already had that shift in my mind, like where husband, like we need to be together.
You definitely, it clicked in your head way sooner.
Like for me, just telling you like no, Deontay, you're not gonna go hang out with your friend, and you're just like, why? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, why? We're not doing anything. We're not, you know what I mean? But it's like, what are you gonna do when you're out with all your single friends? Like, what are you about to do? Yeah. And it's like, well, nothing. I just want to be with these are my friends. But it's like, you got to build this up first. This has to be tight before you can just like, you can't just go back to what you were doing. Not right away. Yeah. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
It's making sense. Yeah, that's true, because I was like that. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not. Like, what else am I going to do? Like, who else am I going to hang with? Instead of looking at it like, I'm going to hang with you and work on us. It's like, these are my only friends I got. It ain't my fault that they ain't married. So we finna go do what we do. Yeah. And then, it's like, to me, it was like, okay, we married. Congratulations. I love you. But I'm about to go back and hang with my friends. Like, I got you, but I got to go back and hang with my boys. Like, that's not the way it works. It's like, no, it's us now, and we need to work on us. Yeah. And then when we good, you know, then you can go out and hang out with them and see the difference. Because that was the reason why my motives were wrong, because we weren't really spending that quality time. And it's like, you trying to tell me what I can and can't do. That wasn't flying with me. Yeah. And like I said, my front mind wanted to go and work out, because I was always I've always been into working out. And the back of my mind is like, I know it's going to be some ladies up in here. I'm going to go see who's up in here. And it can't be like that. Yeah. Now I can go anywhere and it's nothing. Like, I know I got to find this wife.
Yeah, and I don't really
I don't really trip Vegas
like that no more. You know, you can't go to Vegas. You can't go to Vegas without me.
I'm going to Vegas.
But I mean, and if it came down to it, like, I don't worry about that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Good.
And it's a part of me that is like, I don't want to say I don't care, but it's like, if that's really what you want to do,
Yeah.
you're going to find a way to do it. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
too
you're
old
going to
for that
find a
now.
way to do it. And yeah, I'm too old for that.
I ain't worried about you doing it, because if
So-
you did do it, I'll be going to jail. Because I'm going to kill him.
Deontay, okay, don't.
Oh, I can't say that?
No, don't say
Oh,
that.
okay. I ain't going to kill nobody,
We
y'all.
don't promote violence, you guys.
All
We
right.
don't.
I'm going to fight for mine now.
But I feel like we got really off topic.
Yeah, we got a little bit off, but I mean, the whole gist of it
We
was,
got off topic.
you know, what I really wanted to stress is, you know, with the physical appearance, you know.
Okay, why did you? Because Deontay picked this topic. Why did you want to talk about
Because
physical appearance and why? Like,
I just
what made
feel
you
like
wanna,
in a marriage, that's like, I don't know. I just feel like in a marriage, you come together one way, and obviously when you get together and you know, you get married, your husband or your wife, they love you for who you are and how you looked. So, you know, that sounds wrong, huh?
It does.
Well, I mean, your physical appearance. They love your physical appearance.
Yes, it's
If you're-
part of it. It's part
if
of
you
it.
didn't work
yes.
out, they loved you when you didn't work out.
Right.
If you worked out, maybe they loved you for you working out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden things changed and you stopped
Okay.
working out because you got so comfortable. And maybe, you know, your wife or your husband is a good cook, and you know what I'm saying, you just throwing down and you start gaining those pounds. Or like I said, you decide, you know what, I don't like the way I look, I'm about to start working out. It's like, how do you tell your spouse that without it sounding, you know, like either being jealous because now all of a sudden they're getting in shape, or without trying to kill their self-esteem because they're getting big. And you know, this could happen later on in the marriage, it could happen early in the marriage, within the first few years. And like we said, you know, for us, we just come out and just say it. But you know, where we're at in our marriage right now, we can say that. How will we feel if this was, you know, year 3 or year 4? You know, will we still
Right.
feel the same way? Like, you know, I can just come out and I can say it, because
Yeah.
you know, now, yeah, we tell each other any and everything now, and it doesn't bother us. But that, I mean, that was the reason why I chose this topic, because, and I guess it kind of came up because, like you said, I work out, and there's a lot of people and pages that I follow on Instagram that are like working out pages and stuff, and you know, showing transformations and stuff like that. And I just started to think, like, you know, as a husband, you know, how would my wife feel if I just went from this, you know, chubby looking dude to this, you know, chiseled stud dude, you know, now I'm walking around with no shirt on, feeling myself. Like,
Yeah.
does she feel like, you know, I'm trying to get something else? Like, you know, I'm not good enough for you anymore. Like, now you're trying to move on to something else. Or, you know, that was my thought behind it. Like, you know what I'm saying? How do spouses tell
And
each other that?
I think too, it would be all in, like how you, like, say, like if you were out of shape, and then all of a sudden, like you know, you wanted to start getting in shape and stuff, and you know, you get in shape and you build this nice physique. To me, it would be all in how you, like, if you're flaunting it, if you're, you know what I mean? Because I feel like you're in pretty good shape. You're okay.
You don't let me take my
Decent
shirt off.
shape. And no, I don't let you take your shirt off in public. But I don't feel like you, like, even if because I feel like that's kind of like a joke. Like, even if I were like, okay, Deontay, take off your shirt. Like, you're not going to flaunt. You're not the type of person who's going to flaunt their physique, is what I'm trying to say. So to me, like, I'm comfortable with, like, having a husband who's in shape, because I know he's not trying to just flaunt it to any and everybody.
So what if
So
it's that husband who
is
not trying to show it off to everybody, but it's like, you know what I'm saying, obviously when you went from this to this, you want somebody to see it, and maybe you just not happy with just your wife seeing it, and you just want, you know, other people to see it.
well, then that goes back to your motives.
See, And that's the thing. Like, how do you approach that? Like, do you approach it as in, like, I don't like what you're doing. Like, who are you doing this for? Or do you just tell them, like, look, I don't like how you just out, flaunting your new little body that you think you done came up on. Like, I'll take it. I'll take it
anyway.
Yeah, I'll take it from you. Okay, I will take it from you like that. So you walking around with your little abs out. I shut that down. Put this T-shirt on.
I mean, I would vocalize the fact that, like, it's making me uncomfortable. You're making me feel uncomfortable that you're out here just flaunting your body. And I would put it on the flip side. How would you like it if I was out here walking around in a G-string bikini?
That's what I was going to say.
Would that be okay?
If it was vice versa and it was the girl who was working on her body and the guy, how would the guy feel? She on Instagram taking all these pictures in yoga pants and bathing suits, going to all the pool parties and all that, and it's like you over there with just your normal body with your tank top on. Just looking like, dang, my wife look good, but everybody else is looking too like,
exactly.
Like,
exactly.
That's my reasoning behind it. Like, it's one thing when y'all do it together, but it's a whole nother thing when it's just one of y'all doing it.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like right now you just don't care. Like, you're not worried about it or whatever. Like, you're not worried about it. So even though you saying you're not worried about it, I wouldn't just out of nowhere just like, I don't know, just start walking around with no shirt on or whatever. Like, I still have to keep in mind how you feel. And like,
and I think that's the biggest thing too. Like, when it comes to me and you, whenever we don't have like we can't see one another's perspective, we're always like, well, how would you feel if the tables were turned? Like, how would you feel if that was me? Or how would you feel if I was doing this and you were on the other side of it? I think that's a big way to like try to put the other person in their shoes. Like, how would this make you feel if I was doing this to you?
So if I decided to stop working out and just let myself go, would you let me?
No, I wouldn't.
That's what I'm talking about. Good.
But I mean, even now, like, you think you have like a little.
Yeah, still need to work on my stomach.
You have like a little pudge.
I don't like it.
But you don't like it, so you work on it, and that's fine. But I mean, it's okay to me.
As long as you like it. I still care, but
yeah, you do still care.
I won't stress about it as much.
Dante,
I still stress about it.
You do stress about it.
I can't help it. I just like working out. That's what it is.
Yeah, and that's okay. Like I said, that's okay. I don't have any insecurities about you working out.
Well, that was the motive behind this topic. Like, it was something that came to my mind. Like, how do you tell your husband or your wife, like, you losing it or you doing too much? Yeah. How do you do that? Do you be rude about it? And maybe your spouse is like I was early in the relationship, like, please, I'm gonna do this. They hard-headed. So that
we'll talk a little bit more about that next week.
Yeah, we gotta cook up some more topics. Like we said, we don't plan this out. Like, we literally was sitting here like 15 minutes before we started, like, what we gonna talk about. But if you guys want to hear something, give us some topics. We'll pick it out. Nothing crazy, but thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you again for all you guys who went and viewed our last Instagram post and shared it and commented on it. Obviously, we still love each other, so we're
still here, guys.
We're still here. 13 years. We can still look back and talk about things like me going to the gym with eyes for someone else besides my wife, but
about to catch a case.
But yeah. So thank you guys again for tuning in. I'm Deontay.
I'm Maymuna.
And we still do.